20, Proline Coatings, Wilder Road, Bay City.
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A partly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, looking at the clouds and glimpses of sun as we go through the morning hours, and temperatures trying to warm up just a little bit. Started the morning off a little bit on the chilly side, especially over in the thumb area. A lot of single digits. Fortunately, we didn't have much of a breeze out there, so but it was still cold, and even the northeastern part of the Lower Peninsula, we saw single digits and below zero readings around the Atlanta area, Mayo, Rose City, Harrisville, those particular cities. And then some pretty chilly weather in the southernmost sections of the Lower Peninsula, wherever you have low areas, in particular around Fenton, some of those locations just south of Flint, where we saw temperatures in single digits as well. Durand also in single digits. We had, actually it was 3 below zero in a couple of spots in the northeastern part of the Lower Peninsula. White Lake started off at 8. Cadillac, no warmer, really. They were about 7-8 degrees as well. And we're keeping our eye on a clipper system that is going to be affecting our weather a little bit later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. So as I said, we started the morning off, single digits, a lot of locations, 10, 11 here in the immediate Saginaw area. Matthew, I know we're warming up a little. How are we doing?
Well, over at the airport, it's cloudy at 21 degrees. Over in Midland, it's the same it's cloudy at 21. Here at Radio Center, it's cloudy at 20 degrees. We have south to southwest winds at 12 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.92, and it's falling.
We're going to have to rely on that clipper system to, first of all, draft some warmer air up at us. I think by the time we're done, a little bit later on this afternoon, we should be right around the 30-degree mark, give or take a degree or two. And then the snow shower activity is going to begin to move in. A cold front will be zipping through, so we'll see not too much of a temperature variance ahead of and behind that front, but what we are going to be seeing is snow, measurable accumulation of snow. That's what it looks like here in the immediate Great Lakes Bay area and in areas to the north. Now, there are weather advisories, watches, warnings all across the Upper Peninsula and the northern 25% of the Lower Peninsula, where in some cases they are talking upwards of 7-8 inches of snow in the next 24 hours. For us, we're not looking at nearly that much. If we do pick up much of anything, an inch or two, some folks over in Michigan's thumb will be looking at close to, I want to say 3, possibly even 4 inches. But nothing like, obviously, what they've seen along the Atlantic coast. And they do have another system that will be affecting their weather, as a low-pressure system will be moving through the Tennessee Valley here in another day or so. And that low is going to move off into the Atlantic and then once again scoot up the East Coast. Fortunately for a lot of the cities there, the East Coast, Pennsylvania, the New England states, down into and around Virginia, they are going to be looking at much warmer temperatures, upper 30s, low 40s. So they're going to get some melting occurring, which is going to be a little interesting because obviously flooding as a result of heavy wet snow, which is what they received. Now, 3 feet of snow in the state of Rhode Island, that was a record. The old record was set back in 1978 for Rhode Island. They had at least 36 inches, if not more. So this was a record-breaking snow for them. Massachusetts, many of the locations there reporting close to 3 feet, 30, 31, 32 inches. New Jersey, they were looking at 17, 18 inches of snow. And then on top of all of the snow in New York City, Long Island reported 80-mile-per-hour winds, which is hurricane force type winds. That's what they figured they had, a weak hurricane, and drafting all of that cold air. As a result, that's what they got, quite a bit of snow. And more snow is in the forecast for those folks as we move into the latter part of the work week this week. So what are we looking at around these parts? Clouds, sun, snow late this afternoon. It'll be after 5 o'clock before we begin to really see any snow kick in. 30 degrees, maybe a little bit warmer. That's what we're going to look at as far as a high temperature goes. And we will have a south wind that will be gusting up to 30, possibly 35 miles per hour late this afternoon and early this evening. The west winds will continue with the gusts of better than 30 miles per hour tonight with that low of 27. Snow shower activity, 1-2 inches, going to be very common. And again, as I said, over in Michigan's thumb and northern Michigan, the amount of snow will be greater. Sun will set this evening at 6:19, rise tomorrow morning at 7:19. Now, during the day tomorrow, clouds, some sun, falling temperatures, that low temperature tonight at 27, right around midnight. And after midnight, that temperature will be falling because that low pressure system, the Clipper, is going to be drafting some much cooler air to spill down over the state during the day tomorrow. Looking for a low tomorrow night of 14. Snow showers early on Wednesday morning, but tapering off before the noon hour tomorrow. Thursday, sun, a few clouds. We're going to owe some nice weather to a high pressure system over Wisconsin. Unfortunately, it'll clear our skies out, but the temperatures aren't really going to respond. We'll still be running below normal, but we should crack the 30-degree mark for a high on Thursday, a low of 21, as that high will be situated over Wisconsin. And again, that is Thursday. Thursday, along with all the activity and that high pressure, we're going to see a system track through the Tennessee Valley. We mentioned that just a minute or two before. So the high pressure is going to deflect a lot of the moisture that will be generated with that low moving through the Tennessee Valley. All of that activity is going to be moving almost right straight east, and it'll hit the Atlantic and then push up the Atlantic shoreline. Sunday, or I should say, Friday, it will be a sun day, mostly sunny skies. We should work our way up to about 47, 48 degrees for a high on Friday. A lot more seasonal, but again, some snow showers, more snow in Pennsylvania and New Jersey up into the New England states on Friday. But for us, sunshine, upper 40s, partly cloudy skies Friday night, 32. Then on Saturday, we'll have partly cloudy skies to start with. So snow will be moving in later in the day on Saturday and Saturday night. Our high on Saturday, 40. Our low Saturday night, 15, as another system will be moving through. Sunday, partly cloudy skies, middle 20s for a high, 13 for a low. Then Monday, to start off the work week, partly cloudy skies, a chance of some snow on Monday. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s. Long range, take us all the way through the 9th of March. Temperatures at or slightly above normal for this time of the year. Precipitation values also normal to slightly above. Record high in the state, you got to go back to 1930, 60 degrees. The record low, 1924 is when we set that. It was 9 below zero. The warmest ever was 1930 on this date, 24th of February. 60 was our high, 38 was our low. The coldest ever on record, 1934. And the most snow we've ever gotten on the 24th of February, you don't have to go back too many years. 2016, we had 9.1 inches of snow at MBS International Airport. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew standing by today. Who do we have?
Coming up next, we have Abby Terwilliger from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Rummel Insurance Agency. Remember, they do understand the risks that you face as a Michigan farm and agribusiness owner. Every farm's needs vary like the crops in the fields, and the folks at the Rummel Agency know that you're not just a number. You have a family, goals, dreams for the future. These things are really important to you. So you've got to get everything put together when it comes to your farming operation. And how do you do that? Well, it's simple. They want to get to know you one-on-one so they can help get the right farm insurance protection for you and your family. Really important to contact them. They've got solutions to some of the questions you might have. Rummel Insurance, Frankenmuth, Saginaw, and Caro. And they invite you to set aside this coming Saturday and slide on over to the Brentwood in Caro for the Thumb Area Old Engine and Tractor Association's 22nd Annual Farm Collectibles and Toy Show. And again, all that activity starts at 8:30 in the morning, goes until 3 in the afternoon. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger over at the Andersons. Abby, how you doing today?
Hey, Terry, not too bad.
Understand that the soybeans, last time I looked, we're having a decent day.
Yep. Currently, we are still up 6.5 for old crop nearby, and new crop we are up 5 pennies. So at least we got a little bit of green on the board.
And everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah, pretty much sleeping and tucked into the covers a little bit down.
What's going on with the beans? I mean, we've been doing pretty good lately.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was the continued rumors of China potentially buying more. A lot of it is going on with that. I think we started down this morning and have actually turned it. We were down about 6 at one point, and now we're up 6. I think a lot of it is just coming from the Supreme Court's decision on, if the tariffs are legal or not, and what tariffs Trump is saying he might put in, and, all of that stuff. And the only other thing that I see is Brazil is a little bit behind pace. They're only 30% harvested instead of 39 compared to last year. And the other effect that may have is with getting their second crop of corn planted, it might be lagging a little bit and it might not hit that good weather window. Now, I'm sure it'll all work out fine. That always seems to do, but I think that's kind of what the market's looking at today.
So right now on the board at the Andersons, what do you have, Abby?
Right now on the board, old crop corn 402, new crop 403, old crop soybeans 1115, new crop 1057, red wheat for this summer 517, and white wheat 537.
Some of the farmers been able to take advantage of the soybean market, Abby?
Yeah, I've actually had a pretty decent handful since we've been above that 1050 number. The last couple falls, you haven't been able to get anywhere close to that during harvest. So I definitely would make a suggestion to sit down, look at your numbers, and see if you feel comfortable locking in at that price. Because it's, like I said, we haven't seen those numbers during harvest in quite a few years. So
what about corn?
Corn, I think a lot of guys that wanted to sell at that $4 price have sold. Still getting some more stragglers, that were thinking about it for a while. If we get into that 415 to 425 range, I think we will see, a decent chunk also price.
It'll be interesting here if these prices seem to maintain what they're doing right now. Soybean acres versus corn acres. Obviously, everybody is really concerned with the prices that they're getting, and soybeans right now look like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it looks like soybeans are the way to go. I've come to learn that we around this area just really love to grow corn, and we're good at it. So something that you definitely need to think about. I've heard little comments that corn seed is getting hard to find from some dealers. So we might be seeing, another big corn crop.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. It's all about rotation for a lot of guys.
Yep. A lot of guys are, stick right to that. And I mean, I don't blame them. It's what works for them for years, and change is fun.
Yeah, I guess. Abby, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
All right. You too. Thank you.
You bet. Abby Twilliger over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The Market Report brought to you by Steiner Tractor. They do take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts because they understand how your life and job both stop if that tractor stops running. And if you're all about getting that thing to look sharp, because there are a number of events that happen in the late spring and over the summer featuring antique tractors, Steiner's a good place to start if you've got some work that you need to do. Alice Chalmers, Case, Cockshut, Ford, International, John Deere, Massey, Minneapolis, Moline, Oliver. They keep a warehouse stocked with new parts for old tractors. Need one? 800-234-3280. That's the telephone number. Or you can go to their website at steinertractor.com. Market Report brought to you today also by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They're here to help farmers with lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. They can be your hometown financial solution. Check them out and see. If they aren't already, you probably should be in contact with them to make them a good solution to whatever finances you need. Find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. And both encourage you, as the Rummel Insurance Agency, to stop by the Brentwood and Carroll. That'll be Saturday, and we'll be broadcasting this coming Friday from the Brentwood to give you a sneak preview of what's going to be happening for that 22nd annual Farm Collectibles and Toy Show in Carroll. Doug Klein, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Hey, we're not doing too bad. I think maybe what I'll do is after the toy show, I'll get a couple games of bowling in.
I think you should. Remember how?
Well, I don't know, but I think I can beat the 89 that I had the last time I went.
That sounds about my speed.
Yeah, because they've got bumpers on those lanes.
Oh, nice. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on in Chicago? We need some bumpers there today?
Yeah, I don't know. So we got a little bit of a bounce going on in the stock market, about 0.5%. So half of what we lost yesterday. We'll see how that pans out. Not really looking that optimistic, but we'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. What happened? So AMD got a big order from Meta, Facebook, for AI chips. So anyway, they're buying from NVIDIA, also AMD. So I don't know, that bounced their stock up 15 points or something like that. So that kind of gave a little bit of a tone for the markets. Come back today. So that's going on. Warner Brothers got a bigger bid for their buyout from Paramount. We'll see what happens there. Novo Nordisk cut their prices on their weight loss jabs by 50% in the U.S. Not really that good for them. I mean, it's good for the people that need them, but that dropped their stock to a one-year low. They've come off a high of $90 a year ago, trading at 32 now. So that's going on. That's not great. We got a State of the Union address tonight too, and that should be. I mean, that's kind of the leading up to that is probably positive. As far as the market goes, I don't know if tomorrow, after the fact, is still positive. We'll have to see how that pans out. And then I'm looking at the price of gasoline at $1.98 on the wholesale, and I'm going to say $3.19 is not justified. Can't help you there.
You think?
It's just not.
Wow.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe they're saying because the New York harbor is kind of sort of snowed in, maybe that's their reasoning behind it. But I think that snow is going to melt pretty soon.
Yeah, it'll melt quick
within the next few days.
Yeah,
anyway.
No kidding. What a mess that's going to be.
So anyway, here's your numbers. The March corn 426 3/4, down 3/4 of a penny. September corn 448 1/4, down 1 3/4. The March soybeans 1140 1/4, up 6. September soybeans 1123 3/4, up 3 1/4. March wheat is 568, down 1 1/2. And September wheat 593 1/2, down 1/4 of a penny. Sugar's trading at 1402, that's up 2 cents. Crude oil is 66.13, down 18 cents. Heating oil 269.16, up 1 1/4 cents. Gasoline 198.30, down 0.6 of a penny. Natural gas 290 3/4, that's down 3.6 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3705 Canadian, that's up 11 ticks. The dollar buys 155.63 yen, that's up 101 ticks. The euro's at 117.87, that's up 3 ticks. And the dollar's at 97.77, that's up 7 ticks. Gold is at 51.4520, down $62.30. Silver's 87.83, that's up $1.26. Platinum's at 21.78, up $31.60. Copper's at 5.90 3/4 of a penny, up 12 3/4 cents.
All righty. You have a good one, Doug.
We'll try. You too.
I will. Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland Seed headquarters. You know, they got a good selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's. You're looking to increase your yields this year, maybe you might want to check them out and see what those products can do for you. Vic Huffer and his staff, they've got answers to the questions you might have. Remember, serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983. Freeland Bean and Grain. Farmall Tractors, will they do the job for you? Got a funny feeling they will. The nice thing about it is, if you buy one from Weiss Equipment, they're going to pair you up with the right size tractor for the job that you need. Farmall Tractors will do just about anything. That's why they call them that, Farmall, and they're ready to go to work for you. No matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. Find out more. Anywhere from the value-packed compact Farmall A to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C series with cabs, Weiss Equipment will suit you up and get you moving. Weiss Equipment and Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Matthew, who do we have up?
Coming up next, we have Jerry Samosky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
Jerry, good morning. How are you this morning?
Wonderful, Terry. Hey, sap's starting to run in trees. We're getting maple syrup coming. They were talking about it this morning in the morning program. And so we can start trimming now, quickly get those maple trees trimmed in particular, because they start running early. And so if they happen to bleed a little bit when you cut them, that's okay. It's no different than if you tap it and take syrup. People think, oh my gosh, it's bleeding. It's plants. We try and use a lot of things that tend to make them believe that they're human, but they don't heal. They compartmentalize. They don't bleed. They drip sap. So it's a little bit different thing, and those are kind of okay. We just need to understand that if a plant's bleeding, we don't need to put a Band-Aid on it and spray some stuff on it, and it's okay. Plants have their own way of dealing with it.
Yeah, I mean, with the warmer weather that we had and things got a little bit cooler, these trees, they're ready to go.
They are, Terry, but I still think, clearly we're a long ways, month and a half before we start seeing buds breaking. So, patience, it'll get there. It's all good time. And if it comes too soon, likely we're going to have a hard freeze and we're going to lose everything we gained and then some.
No, we don't want that. Jerry, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again.
All right, Terry.
All righty. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Ed Raymond's, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartt's, Red Wing shoes and boots, Stormy Cromer accessories, all available today at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. EdRaymonds.com for more information. And remember, they're open 7 days. Abby kind of alluded to it. Doug Klein also about the tariffs that's going on right now, all the tariff talk. And of course, with the State of the Union message tonight, it's going to be real interesting to see what the Trump administration has got on deck. Tariffs, how are they going to affect us? Well, let's find out. Here's CJ Miller.
The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that President Trump does not have the authority to impose tariffs on imported goods using emergency powers. Greg Allen reports how this could impact Michigan agriculture.
In a 6-3 decision, the justices said the International Emergency Economic Powers Act does not give the president the power to levy tariffs, emphasizing that authority belongs to Congress under the Constitution. Travis Cushman, Deputy General Counsel for Litigation and Public Policy with the American Farm Bureau Federation, says the ruling does not end the matter.
The Constitution grants Congress the exclusive authority to tax and tariff. And so if Congress wants to levy a tax, they can do that. The president does not have that authority. About half of tariffs were under IEEPA, the new tariffs. Other half were under other sections. So the other sections can still provide an avenue for those.
Cushman says the case now moves immediately to an international appeals court to determine what happens to existing tariffs and how the decision will be applied.
It will be a mess. It is unclear what happens to the tariffs that have been collected, if those will be refunded, who gets the money, how much it is.
For agriculture, the decision could have major implications since tariffs often affect export markets and input costs.
Inputs that are foreign derived should go down without those tariffs in place. The question is what happens to our export markets, whether they have been lessened from retaliatory tariffs or smaller purchases.
That was Greg Allen. Let's find out what's going on in New York right now. Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company joining us. Teresa, what's going on today?
Good morning. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 336 points at 49,140, 426 million shares traded. NASDAQ up 217 at 22,845, 589 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 767.95, up 11.48. Deere 638.78, down 8.06. CMS Energy 76.07, down 23. Dow 30.92, up 62. DuPont 50.75, up 67. Corteva 77.25, up 79. General Motors 81.65, up $1.99. Trinzio 26 cents, down a penny. Walmart 127.18, up $1.36. Huntington Bank 16.99, down 9. Independent Bank 35.25, down 25, and AT&T at 28.24, down 28.
You have a great day, Teresa. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You bet. Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company. Farm Service been brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts, quality service, very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.